So if we look at this specific event here with the Battle of Gaugamela, so in 331, now what I find interesting about it is that the Bible said that this battle was going to take place, right?
It did.
That Alexander the Great was going to be victorious. So if we go to Daniel 8, verse 3 to 8, and we're just going to go briefly through this, but it's so clear. It says, and I'm just going to read the highlights, there was a ram which had 2 horns, and then the ram pushing westward, northward, and southward. And then a he-goat came from the west. The he-goat had a notable horn between its eyes. So we have these 2 creatures, 2 beasts, and ran unto him in the fury of his power, smote the ram, brake his 2 horns, no power in the ram to stand before him. So we have this goat, this he-goat that goes and attacks this ram, and it's this like symbols, right? These
are
figures.
symbols, yes.
And we need to somehow understand these symbols, right? And then in verse 8 it says, and the he-goat waxed very great, the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven. So we have this picture here of the he-goat with the one big horn going at the ram. But the question is, how do we know what this represents?
Well, the good news is, Mackenzie, as we go forward into the scriptures in the same chapter, the Bible explains it that here, look at what it says here. The ram which thou sawest, this is in Daniel chapter 8, verse 20 and 21. The ram which thou sawest, having 2 horns, are the kings of Media and Persia. And of course here it says in the highlighted area, the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
Well, that makes it pretty simple.
It does. I like that. And so
we don't have to guess.
Absolutely. Here we have a prophecy, and it says that there's going to be this battle, and that the king of Grecia is going to defeat the kings of the Medes and the Persians. And on this day, there was an eclipse.
Oh.
This is the problem I have personally with historicism. Sorry, historicist friends who also watch this channel and are not Seventh-day Adventists, but it is just too much plug-and-play theology. All eschatological schools, folks, have their problems. I don't care what the SDA Church says. They think they're bulletproof. They think their school of eschatology has no issues, no problems. They're, raised up as God's last day prophetic voice. No, all the prophetic schools have issues and problems that have to be worked through. Historicism is just too much plug-and-play theology. They all point to different historical events that they claim fulfill Bible prophecy, which is exactly what is happening here. There's nothing explicit in Scripture about the Battle of Gaugamela in 331 AD. But because they truly believe that, it has to be what the text is talking about. Mackenzie even saying it's just so clear in Daniel 8, followed by reading nuggets of the text that don't say what he claims. Like the text doesn't say that. I always have to tell Adventists this. That's your interpretation. You guys think you have an infallible one. You assume that. But the text does not say what you're saying. That's your interpretation. This is coming from the movement that tells us if it isn't a plain thus saith the Lord, it needs to be rejected. Well, this isn't a plain thus saith the Lord. It is your extrapolation from the text with the help of a woman that you think God was speaking through, giving you infallible interpretive light. But again, this is being cited to support the eclipse on April 8 being some fulfillment of prophecy, serving as a sign in the sky of coming judgment, cities potentially being destroyed, and the second coming being around the corner because on the day of a battle in the 4th century, there was an eclipse.